My first combat experience was actually a hand-to-hand combat experience. So firefight was something that I got a lot later, almost about 1.5 years after that operation. So that operation, and in fact, that operation is very dear to me because there also I learned something very important, very unique from one of my fellow officers. So वहाँ पे क्या हुआ था? There were it was in Northeast, and there were a couple of every time we're getting inputs that there are these militants that they come to this particular area, and we have laid many ambushes. I mean, in past 1.5 months, we laid close to about 15, 20 ambushes, but none of them were successful. And those were, I would say after getting proper int. So, but then we couldn't get them because, the international border is there. They would quickly go into the other side. They would come here, operate, and then can go back. And it was quite difficult that time. And, but then eventually, towards it was after about 20 odd ambushes went wrong, and then finally we got a very hard end, and we exactly knew where they were coming, and we laid an ambush in that particular area. So that area was like, you have the jungle on one side, the small foot track, and then there is a 20-30 feet slope, and then there is a river, right? So we put our ambush, and we waited for them, and then we were getting live input because one of my sources were there with them that time, and they came into the ambush site, and then I got a input from my stops in front that they have entered. I asked them, "Do you see any weapon?" They say, "There's a kapde pehen rahe, ek weapon dikh nahi raha hai." Now the point is, you have to understand that it's very difficult to identify a militant. The only way you can identify a militant is to check whether he has a weapon or not, right? Otherwise, he's just a civilian. और वहां पे जैकेट जैकेट पहन के अंदर वेपन लेके घूम रहा है तो we don't know. And the rules of engagement were very clear. You fire only when you're fired at. So otherwise, you might end up doing killing a civilian. So he came to the exact location. Everything was happening according to our plan. It was going great, and so we challenged them. And what they did was they did not fire at us. We used our HSTIs and everything, but we cannot detect anything. But we challenged them, and they did not fire at us. We thought, okay, they may be a civilian, may not be a civilian. One guy tried to run, so he ran back, and the stops caught them. The other two guys, me and my buddy, jumped on one, and one more buddy pair jumped on the other. So we got them, nabbed them, and then we found the guy whom we nabbed. He had two pistols in his with him. So we got hold of him and caught him. The other guy, suddenly one of my boys shouted, Ki Saab, dagger maar diya. And then, to my shock, I was like, shit, I think I lost one of my men because, he tried to stab him. And then I went running to him. I caught that guy, the militant, and वो slope था वहाँ पे. And I slipped and I pulled him with me. So both of us went rolling down. And I lost, I happened to lose my weapon somewhere there only. And he was bloody carrying a shotgun, and he also lost his weapon. And both of us, rolled down, and we stopped near the river. And he immediately got up and punched me on my face. So that got me more angry. And then there was like proper, hand to hand chal raha hai wahan pe, dhama, dhuma, dhama, dhuma. And he was also quite a tough guy, big chap. And I was getting angry every time he was punching me on my face. So I was really angry, and there was a lot of rage that was going on. So I pinned him down. I started punching him. Our boys from top were, they were shouting, "By saab ka hai, saab ka hai." Niche se bas आवाजें आ रहे, dhum dham, dhum dham. And then, finally, two, three guys came down, and then they stopped us. They got the guy. We went up, and then I was so angry, with so much rage. There was another officer with us. Yeah, he was senior to me. In fact, it was a joint operation with the Assam regiment. And I told Sir, sir, dekho, these three guys, they tried to stab one of our boys. Inko thok dete hain wahi pe. In the middle of the jungle, nobody gets to know. Nothing will say that it's an encounter. Let's bloody, pin them there itself. And then, because, they might go back going to, go to jail. They come out and they will again start the same thing. Perhaps maybe kill a few civilians. Instead, let's end it right here. But then he didn't let me do that. He stopped me. I was, little stupid at that time. He stopped me saying that, Bhaskar, we are the Indian Army. We don't kill people in cold blood. When he said that, I still remember the exact words. He said that in the heat of the moment, if there was fire or if there was contact, then you fired at him. That's a different case. But we are a professional army. We can't do this. And I realized after some time that, those words are so heavy. I was like thinking, what the hell was I trying to do at that time? And he told me very clearly कि भाई तुम आज कर दोगे, you glory may be yours, क्योंकि body निकालने में तो एक दिन लग जाएंगे रोड पहुंचने में. You can always have a medal for that, but when you look at yourself in the mirror, will you be proud of this? And that was a big lesson he taught me. I'll not name him because he's still a serving officer, but a fantastic gentleman. Is from Rajasthan, and really enjoyed that operation, and it was a big learning for me. So that was my first combat operation where there was hand-to-hand combat. And later on, yes, I did have a firefight as well, where I almost thought that I lost my life.